Hi folks, welcome to my humble homestead in the forest, and today I'm going to attempt to um, revive this old house stand that hasn't had much of any love for so long, and it's about time. I love preserving things. And when I was in between schools, I had 3 antique shops and didn't make much money. And by much, I mean any. If anything, I had 3 break-ins and thefts and everything. So yeah, lost a lot of money. But the fact is that I love preserving history, and this beautiful thing is made out of oak, and in particular quarter cut oak. Oak and quarter cut oak in Canada is not cheap. I don't know what it costs where you folks live, or if you even have oak as an option for furniture. But here is not. I mean, certainly they don't make them anymore, and if they do, it would be veneer, not solid oak. So I'm going to. Oh, let me show you. I'm going to try to buff it. I mean, this. I have a video on how we make our own salves and lotions and that. And this particular one is common. Oh, geez. Let me see if I smell it, I remember, because I don't. Oh, maybe yeah. I have it on the label. Evening primrose, and I mean, you can make your own furniture polish or not, but if you don't have access to your own flowers and herbs and whatever to make your own salves, in this, well, before I tell you what's inside, you can use like linseed oil, anything natural, tongue oil, anything natural would be good. But then you put it on and you take it off, you kind of buff it. In this particular one, we have evening primrose, organic, obviously from our own place, organic beeswax, and organic olive oil. Basically, in all of our salves, that's just the 3 ingredients. And so that's what this is. So I haven't tried it on this, and I hope it works. But let's see, huh? And then I'll move the camera and do a close-up of how I do it, and maybe you can see better. So let's get busy, huh? Yeah, this thing is about, well, it's at least 100 years old. They came in different prices for different budgets. I would say that at one point, anyone that had a regular size house that had a sort of a foyer or an entrance hallway or whatever, that was big enough to put something like this on, had one. Now, the question is how much. This one was mass-produced. And when I say mass-produced, I mean mass-produced by 100 years ago standards. So it was still made slower than today. But there are ones that were a lot more expensive, and they were carved, hand carved. I mean, this was, parts of it was hand carved, but not, they were like upright or appliques or whatever they call it. It wasn't that they carved a big chunk of oak into that, so they used secondary pieces in this one. In quarter cut oak, it's called quarter cut oak because they would make a cut, and then they would turn the wood and then make another cut. So they would turn it a quarter turn, and then they would. This is as I remember it when I had my antique shops. It's looking good, and I'm not sure. I've never done this before with this particular paste, because I've never had access to making my own paste. But I would say that I may not have to remove it. Go back with another cloth and remove the excess wax or polish or lotion, oil, whatever. I don't know how it's looking from your angle. And of course, the absolute best way to do it is if you strip it and then you put it back on again. But I don't have the patience for that, so I'm doing it the I suppose you might say easier way, more realistic way. And I don't see how a lot of people would have time to strip it all the way. And then, well, what are those strippers made out of? Could be toxic. I suppose there's no could be about it. They would be toxic. So, and once my rag or rag gets dirty enough, now I suppose that would be the time where it would be saturated enough as well. Then I will go and do the parts that would have had a lot more, like the backs of the pieces or whatever, that would have been, would not necessarily show. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. Hard on the old knees. Maybe you should put some on your knees, under your knees, like you're gardening. Okay, let's start from the top. I think you can see the top, but not so much the front. Maybe I'll move the camera so you can see better. I don't know. Oh, this thing's solid. I'm using the wax sort of liberally because I have so much of it, but I don't know, like I said, I've never done this before with this particular thing, option, so time will tell. I mean, it's oil, it's good oil, all organic olive oil and beeswax and evening primrose. I mean, you wouldn't think that it would do it much harm, much worse than what it looks like now. But can only help it. Oop, I put too much on. I've taken some of the coat hooks and things off, and then once my rag is dirty enough, because I really don't want to polish this brass, the patina off of it. I prefer that it looks as old as it does. I'm not trying to make a new piece of furniture here. I do like the old finish anyway, so it's not an issue for me, but I know a lot of people prefer it to look new, but be an old piece that looks new. Don't know if that's an oxymoron or what. Quarter cut oak, for those of you who don't know, when it's got wax on, when it looks shiny, it gleams and it's a beautiful ripple effect, sort of like what they call bird's eye maple. Really beautiful. Somebody over 100 years ago made this, and obviously they're not around because they would have been at least in their 20s or 30s when they made this in a factory or workshop or wherever. And I wonder if they could somehow, through not necessarily talking time travel, but whatever ways of revisiting, they could see me doing this now, what they would think. Be happy that it survived. Obviously it was gleaming. It was a beautiful piece of furniture at the time that he or she made it. And it doesn't look anything like that, but at least though, it's not ending up in the landfill or some basement or garage that gets moldy and ruined beyond repair perhaps. So that's something. And this may have been, I don't understand it, but what I'm polishing right now, as you can see, looks to me like fleur de lis, the French lily flower that I have a video on, a symbol of resilience. Talk about resilience, it's lasted this long. And this is not a symbol for it. There's not a it stands for something else as well. Why isn't it? Anyway, go see that video that I've made on lily or lilies, and it seems to be like it's upside down, isn't it? From your side, it looks right side up, but from here, because that's the bench, that's the part you sit on. So I don't know. Why do they do it upside down? What was that about? I would like to ask the maker of this beautiful piece of furniture those questions. I mean, right now it's looking 100% better. The oils those oil are kind of getting into the wood grains, or at least the varnish or the finish that it had. Yeah, I can't see much from my angle. If you see, if I've missed anything, you let me know. I can see it shining already. This rich oak color, but you will let me know if I missed anything. Please and thank you. Not much is remaining on the cloth, which is a good sign. That means it's getting soaked in, I think. See, all these parts that I'm polishing now would have been machine cut, because they would have had that technology at that time. But on the really more expensive ones, it would have been all hand carved. I'm gonna get a screwdriver or something so I can get in the carvings and crevices to get them polished as well. Okay, where did I leave this polish right here? My hope is to, folks, one day, if the guy, the AI in the sky, or the programmer, or some of you might know him as God, would allow for me to have a workshop that is a sort of a maker space for people to have access to tools and the space to come and use the tools and the facilities. It would be free to friends and the friends of the community. Lean on that. But I don't know if can you see that? I wonder if you can see that corner that's in the sun. Ah, no, you can't. Let me back up. And maybe when I do the sun part, you'll see if it makes a major difference. Can you see that? Wow, instant gleam. Looks new. Uh-oh. See, I told you it was an applique. It's not solid. It's like they put that on top of a solid wood. So this was one way to keep the costs down. So this would be, who would own this? Would be someone that would be a middle class family would own this. See, there's another one. Can you see? It's not one solid piece. It's not one solid carving. So they're trying to cater to all different budgets. I don't know how much this would have cost, but think of it this way: if you're a average income, middle income earner, that's who someone like this would have owned. Would have been the original owner of this piece over 100 years ago. So I'm not going to bother you anymore. I'll just give you a little close-up shot of what I just did. And then maybe when I finish, I'll take a picture of it when I make slideshows for you. Alright, let's see what I can show you. Well, folks, I'm coming to the end of my polishing, waxing, whatever you want to call it, finishing this old hall stand. And Just wanted you to see, this is the under the seat finish, where it didn't get much traffic, obviously sitting on, and sun getting to it, or scrapes or bruises or anything. And look how brilliant this finish would have been everywhere. So now that's it. That's it. And we can hopefully have, there's a spider there, hopefully would have given it a little new lease on life. Oh no, actually, you know what? I forgot to do the top of this. Let me show you how bad that top looks. I don't even know if you can see it from where you are. Let me see. Okay, you probably can't. Let me raise this so you can see. Let's put some oil on that, some love on this. And then we're finished. That looks better, don't it? You can kind of see how it would have looked like when it was brand spanking new. Shiny brass, gleaming finish. And like I said, probably the best way to do this would be to strip it and reapply all the varnish. But what is that stripping made out of, you know? Yeah, probably toxins. You don't want that. There you are. Can you see how much better it looks? Okay.